Hello, welcome back. First of all, if you watched the last one of these I did, it was only a couple of days ago. Thank you very much. Yeah, it really means a lot when people take time out to listen to me just waffle on. Really, I'm sure you've got much better things to do. But thanks anyway. It's fantastic. Thank you. So listen, I came on last time and I'd intended to talk about a few things, and I didn't. I just kind of lost track and went off on a tangent, as I'm prone to do, as most people who know me will tell you. That's the way my brain's wired, or not wired, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about was um, it was about being a biker with problems, with physical problems. So like being a disabled biker. Um, I mean, I was classified disabled, being in a wheelchair and having the problems I got. But I don't sort of think of myself because it's just labels, really. And there's people a lot worse off than I am, way worse off. So I consider myself really lucky. But but I did have to go through a process, um, and that involved sort of questioning what was right for me and what I wanted to do. And one of those things was riding a bike and being part of the bike scene and being a biker since I was a teenager. Um, I thought, oh well, I'm never going to ride again. But then I thought, oh okay, so maybe I can go down the route of a trike. I'd had sidecars before. I loved riding an outfit; that was fantastic. But I'd never had a trike. And I'd seen some cool ones, and I thought, okay, that'd be great. So that's what I did. I got a trike. It was a Renault, no, not a Renault. Um, oh, yeah, you see, I told you, my brain's not wired properly. Uh, oh, yeah, three wheeler. What is it? Yeah, you tell me. I can't remember. My brain is completely gone, and it's not the sun. It's just the way I am. I forget things all the time. It's another problem I've got. But we won't go into that because I forget. Um, yeah. Anyway, I had this three-wheel trike. We called it the Black Pig, and it was off the road more than it was on, really, because it was one problem after another. But it was a great-looking thing. It was fantastic, and when it was working, it was real fun to ride. And we used to go down to Cornwall every year for a little while and have a bit of a meet up and a gathering and a bit of a reunion with old friends. And it kind of turned into a more of a biker thing, but it wasn't the intention to begin with. But a lot of people turned up on bikes and we had bands and things playing. But anyway, we went down one year and the great friends helped me get on the back of Darren, bless him. He's gone as well. Another dear friend that we've lost way too soon because of some idiot in a car doing a U-turn. Anyway, I don't want to go into that; it's too upsetting. But yeah, he said, I'll take you on the back." So some of the lads helped me. I'd got my crutches then, and I thought, I don't think I can get on a bike, but get on a bike, and they helped me do it. They got me on the back of Darren's bike, and we all went for a cruise out in the Cornish lanes and back, and I just didn't stop grinning, and I thought, no, look, this. I've got to be doing this. This is the trike has served a purpose, but I've got to get back on a bike somehow. And I realised being on there that I didn't have a problem with the balance on there. I was fine when I was on. So that's what I did, and I got a VT 750, a Shadow, which was kind of nice and low. It was comfortable, and I mentioned it last time. I'll put a picture up here or up here or somewhere. This is it, and it was called Snotter because people used to say, "Is that a Harley?" And I was like, "No, it's not a Harley. It's not a Harley. It's not a Harley." So it became Snotter Harley. Um, anyway, I got this VT 750, and I found a guy who's brilliant at making things up, welding stuff, and he made like a rack at the back where I could put my wheelchair on, and it was a really lightweight wheelchair. It was a good one. So I popped the wheels off, put the frame on the back of the bike, and then the wheels sort of just bungeed on. superb. I mean, it didn't look fantastic, but that didn't matter, did it? It was getting me out, and it wasn't affecting the handling or anything because it was a lightweight chair. So I could get off the bike, and I could hold on to the bike, and I could get the chair off, and it was just, it was so painful to walk, and the leg was paralyzed, and I hadn't really got used to walking around with one leg that didn't really work that well, and my balance, walking wasn't great. So I was much better in the wheelchair. I could get around a lot easier. And a lot quicker than if I was hobbling about or falling over or trying to hold things, or even on my crutches or whatever. But yeah, so that was great. And then as I progressed, I could get rid of the wheelchair and then just put crutches on the back of the bike. Now, there was a group called NAB. Some of you heard it, the National Association of Bikers with Disability. They do offer help to people, and they can make adaptations to your bike, and they can help through funding as well. I never went down that route. I joined them because I thought it was a great organisation. So I did join them, and I was a member for many years. But I think it depends on who your rep is in the area to how much help you're going to get and whatever. I've got my old cut up here, and it's still got a couple of the membership bars on there, but I had loads of them. I didn't want to put them all on the jacket, but yeah, and that's what this one is, NAB member. I have let that membership lapse now, and I don't wear that cut anymore, but it's just yeah, it's good memories in that jacket. Cut, that's very American, isn't it? In my day we had denim ones, and they were cut-offs because we cut the arms off, and now it's all leather and it's all cut because it's does my head in, to be honest with you, but that's another story. It's just an imported Americanism, like McDonald's and lots of things that aren't good for us. Where was I? I was talking to you about something. See, I sidetrack myself too easily. Yeah, so anyway, NAB, they're out there. So, just if you're listening to this, if you know somebody who's disabled, or if you are yourself, or, and you want to get into biking, do look them up and find out who your rep is or whatever, and contact them, because they do offer a lot of help. Fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, I had my bike. I rode that, and I was slowly getting better. So I went from crutches to carrying a walking stick on the bike and all that, and it was fantastic. And it was superb for my mental health, and I believe it was definitely effective and helped in my recovery, really, because it gave me something positive to do, and meeting lots of people and getting out there and feeling independent and feeling like me again, and not just a disabled guy who was who was getting older, and my life was shrinking, because it often does. If something's wrong with you and you lose your mobility, or you lose your ability to get out, your confidence can drop. For one thing, just going out, you're not for sure of yourself, and you find your social circle just decreases and decreases, and you can be left quite isolated. Even if you're, in a relationship or marriage or whatever, you still personally feel quite isolated. So getting out there on the bike was fantastic for your mental health. And I know that's talked about a lot these days, biking and mental health. And it's physically beneficial, although it's, you're not going to get super toned riding a bike. It does help with a lot of core strength and stability. You have to have a certain amount of strength to ride, particularly a bigger bike. I know, I know. It's like, yeah, we're not all super buff on bikes, are we? but there is still a certain amount, even just wheeling it in and out. That's one of the things I find difficult now, right? And that's the other thing I kind of wanted to talk about was it's the riding that I've not been able to do with my back, but it's not just the riding; it's getting the bike in and out of the garage, getting out the garden through the gate. It's those sort of manoeuvring it about. I've been finding really difficult, because it's a heavy lump. I can't remember what the weight of the Interceptor is. It's not a big bike really, but it is a heavy old thing. I mean, it's not super small. I'm 6'2", And can you hear Nelly? Can you barking at a shadow again? I don't know what she's barking at. They don't like. They don't. They tend to think that if anybody walks past our property, then they really shouldn't be doing that. You know, you've driven past our house, and they have a bit of a rage on. But I think it's just their way of entertaining themselves. They kind of give me a look like, hee hee, that was fun, wasn't it? I don't know. I mean, I know I'm a grumpy old git, and maybe they're picking it up off me. Maybe they just, they're just going, well, you're always moaning, Dad, aren't you? So we're having a go. So yeah, the Interceptor is a heavy bike, but I love it. That's the thing. I do love it, and when riding it, it doesn't feel heavy when you're on it. It's a decent sized bike. I kind of fit on there okay for 6'2". I have, like said, there's different pegs been put on, so from tech parts and things, so it makes it slightly better. And the bar's been raised up, but they still, I think, need to come up a bit more because I'm leaning forward a bit, and that's putting some pressure on my shoulder and my neck. So I kind of want something that's lighter, or I say want, maybe I should be thinking about it. Something that's lighter. I've not looked into the weights yet, but something, I'm thinking along the lines of 350 Classic, the Royal Enfield 350 Classic. I like the Honda. Is it GB 350 as well? I don't like the clock on it, but it's a nice style bike. Ooh, they're bringing out that GB 500. No, I won't be getting one, but I just kind of thought I'd mention it because I saw the pictures of that, and that looks a beautiful looking bike. I've had quite a few Hondas over the years, and great engines on them. They're nice bikes, but I kind of want to stay with something that's just a little bit different. I like the Royal Enfield, Mark. I really do, and I like Triumphs, and I like BSA. So it's got to be one of those three for me. And I just something special about Royal Enfields, and I don't know whether that's just being a bit nostalgic and thinking back to it. I don't know. I feel like Triumph. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Triumphs and Bonnevilles, and I do. They're fantastic bikes, but they're like the big boy, aren't they? They're. I like an underdog. I do. I can't help it. I like an underdog, and I feel although I'm Royal Enfield aren't that anymore. They're doing supremely well, and BSA are now shooting up as well. And I'd always wanted a Gold Star when I was younger, but an original one. I don't like the look of the engines on them, on these new ones. It's not for me. I get it. They're a beautiful looking bike, and by all accounts and purposes, they're fantastic things to ride. But I don't like those the engines on it. But yeah, the 350, the smaller BSA's nice looking bike, the Bantam. I knew a lot of people who had, well, not a lot, but I knew quite a few Bantams around back in the day. They were a lot smaller though, weren't they? They weren't 350s, were they? So my memory's not playing tricks on me. What were they? 175s? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm sure they weren't 350s though. But they were lovely. They were great little bikes, and we didn't used to hack around super fast because it was a lot of Brit bikes and old bikes, and so they were fun times. But I'm not looking to be going super fast. So a 350 will go plenty fast enough for me. And the roads that I'm riding, around Dorset here, I can't see me doing huge motorway miles or anything. But they're capable of doing it. People have ridden them down to Europe and everything. So should by some miracle I ever get the chance to do a long bike tour, which I would so love to. I really would. I'd love to ride down and get down through France and Spain again, and even to Portugal. But there's lots of places in this country I want to ride, But yeah, the 350 would still do it. It would still do it, But the point is, should I go for it? I love that Interceptor. You know, I really do. It's a gorgeous looking bike, and it's just outside at the moment in the sun, looking really sweet. And I've only had it 5 minutes, you know, so I'm still in that sort of thing of I just look at it and think, oh wow, what a wonderful bike. But yeah, you've got to be practical as well, haven't you? I didn't realize my back was going to go almost 5 minutes after getting it. And was that part of the cause? I don't know. I don't really think it was, but you never know. It could have been just trying to heft it in and out of the garage. So my thoughts are the possibility of trading down again to something even smaller and lighter, because if it means that I can get out more, then it's got to be worth it, hasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I'd be interested to know what you think. I know a few people have already said yes on my post that I put up, and yeah, I'm seriously considering it. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So listen, sun's out. I think I'm going to Seaton Bike Night. I'm going to try and get out on the bike tonight. I am going to Seaton Bike Night tonight. What do I mean? I think I'm definitely going to go, and I'm going to meet up with Julian, a biker who lives just a few miles up the road in another village. Going to meet him over in Lyme Regis, and then we're going to ride over to Seaton Bike Night tonight. So I'll try and I don't know whether last time I rode, the GoPro thing, it just took loads of stills. It's really hard to see because there's no screen on the back, so you can't see if you accidentally press the wrong button, and then it just took all these stills. So I didn't get any footage last time. So I'm going to try again, see if I can and get some footage. I've got a new lid to try out as well, so I'm going to try that out, and then I'll come on at some point, and hopefully if we've got any footage, I can upload that, and then I can come in and tell you how the lid is and show it to you. It's a beautiful looking thing. It's a Bi-City Roadster 3 in a beautiful color, but I haven't ridden in it yet because I got it, and I've not ridden the bike since. So I'm looking forward to that. Wish me luck. I hope it goes well and my back holds out. I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure it will. It's now at a stage where I'm feeling okay about it. Don't go taking any risks with my health or anything these days. I really don't. So listen, have a great day. We're heading towards the weekend. The weather's looking good. So have a good one, and I'll catch you soon. Take care now. Bye.